The U.S. travel bans to African countries and beyond. What does it mean? There's a lot of confusion out there about this, and I have been bombarded with links speaking on this. I did verify this news with the Washington Post and the Independent. I'll put all links below. So I did my own research, and I'm surprised. And I say to myself, what's the reason for this? So I've been bombarded with lots of questions also, but I'm just finding this news out. So I did my research across the newspapers, through AI, asking questions, and I'm going to clear it up from what I know and what I was told. Who knows what's going to happen after this? But there's a lot of fallacies out here, as I've been checking responses on Instagram and different social media platforms. So this is what I came up with now, okay? Let's just speak about this, right? Get a background on it. A State Department memo reported by the Washington Post today, June 14th, 2025, reveals that the U.S. is considering adding 36 countries, including Ghana, Nigeria, Egypt, Ethiopia, and other nations. And again, I'll put the entire list in the description area, and on other platforms of mine, an entire article. To a new travel restriction list. These countries have 60 days to meet new U.S. standards on identity documentation, visa overstay rates, and security cooperation, or they'll face new visa bans or travel restrictions. This is part of a broader second Trump travel ban, which began on June 9th, 2025, targeting citizens from 12 countries with full bans and restricting 7 others with enhanced screening. What the travel bans mean. But this doesn't affect me, and I'll explain why. Let me explain first. Bottom line, if you have a U.S. passport, you can travel in and out of these countries. If you have a U.S. passport, no problem. For me, it's no problem because I have dual citizenship, American citizenship, American passport, Ghanaian citizenship, a Ghanaian passport. But I will have to travel on the American passport if I come to America, right? Who this affects? It's not going to stop you if you're an American coming to Ghana, back and forth. It will stop for me in this country, and I'm assuming the other countries on the list, Ghanaians who only have a Ghanaian passport who want to go to America. They won't be able to do it unless Ghana complies within the allotted time. Okay, if they do comply, they will be able to go, but if they don't, they won't be able to travel to America. This will hurt Ghanaians who are living in America who want to get a visit from their family who still live in Ghana and want to go to America. They won't be able to come to America if Ghana does not comply with the rules that America is setting forth. If this goes through, but we're getting a heads up on this. But to me, and let me just see if there's anything else because I'm going to put all the information on the bottom, okay? But that pretty much clarifies it. And I would assume for Nigeria and for the other countries where if you only have a Nigerian passport, you won't be able to come to America if Nigeria doesn't comply with what Donald Trump is proposing here, right? So you have so many days to get straight, or this is going to stick. But I don't think there's anything else that you won't be able to see later on. But that's the bottom line. But let me say this. You know, there's something more behind this. And being the fact that Donald Trump is connected with an artificial intelligence security company, because all of those jobs that they slashed Doge and with the federal agencies, somebody's going to have to pick up for that. They're going to use AI for this. And the usual work that these federal agencies do in America, AI is going to replace those positions because AI can do it better. They don't need a vacation. They don't need a mental health day. You see what I mean? They don't take time off. AI is going to be 24/7 on the job. But there are areas where sensitive information of citizens will be dealt with, and AI will have access to all of that. So they're saying if in these countries, with this proposed ban, if they don't comply, the thing is that they want control beyond their shores, America. They want to rule the world and scare them with this. Those citizens of countries that don't have an American passport or American citizenship. But don't be scared. Don't be frightened. Oh, of course, if you have family in America legally and you want to go there to visit your family and you can't, that's going to hurt. They may not be able to come to a country like Ghana or the other countries on that list. So I say, don't hurt the tourists. But if you're going to restrict us and in a way want to have control over who's here, even citizens who are here, why do you want to bully yourself to have this kind of control and information and say it's unsafe if you don't fall under the umbrella of what we want? You know what? I feel for the Ghanaians that want to travel and those who are on that list and the people who live in those countries. But Africa is rising. And I think a lot of people don't like that. So they want to stick us wherever they can stick us. And these are the black nations. I don't see any European country going through this, right? I don't see any of those. Why Africa, the majority now, to expand this thing to? And for all of those who are citizens in the 54 countries of Africa, you're not missing anything in America. And I'm an American still, born and raised. And I did almost 60 years in that place. And I say it that way, just like a person who was incarcerated and got out and said, well, you know, I did 55 years in Sing Sing, or I did 57 years at Alcatraz. Well, I did 57 years, a little less than 50, well, I did 57 years in America, but it's 5 years now come September. So it's a little less than 5 years, but I did 57 years, you know, subtracted from my 62 years in America, and I know how they get down. Don't feel you're missing anything. Also to throw in, which is an advantage to Ghanaians, right? This video is not just about Ghana, but I want to throw this in. PayPal will be coming here to be used by Ghanaians. Why is this big? Well, you couldn't use PayPal before, legally, and to attach it to the banks. Soon, it will be available. And what does this do? This opens up economic opportunities to freelancers, people who do tech stuff, people who do work on the computers, anything like that and beyond, to get paid from the outside. Because economically for a while, things were bad here. Things just picked up while they manipulated how the gold is distributed and mined and different things. The economy went right up. See, America knows it is falling. And they know that people are waking up here in the motherland where there are so many resources that the UK and France and America, they had their hands in it and they were getting it easy. They were getting it easy. And Africa and the various countries in the motherland were not benefiting. They raped and robbed the resources and turn around and want to call us poor over here. But that's the reason why. They're the real looters. And they're mad because leaders like President Ibrahim Traore and his spirit and inspiration motivated many of the leaders to say, hey, this guy is picking up quick from the resources underfoot and the enlightenment of the people and the example of how a real leader should carry himself selflessly, not selfishly, but selflessly. And the inspiration is spreading like wildfire. You think France likes it, being kicked out? So to the leaders in the various African countries and beyond, fix them back. You want a restriction put on this country? Well, take your American businesses and companies and go back to America. Because Africa and the African nations have the whole planet to deal with. I didn't realize how small America was until I moved here and lived here. Nobody's paying America no mind. They considered still a diminishing superpower. But Russia and China are superpowers also. And you have the BRICS nations. So America, believe it or not, is not even, to me, when I check the top 10 places to live in the world, they're not even on that list. You're gassed up about America. Those in America and those outside of America. Don't believe the hype. I'm home right now and never felt more at home in my life. There's certain things I don't have to deal with, but look at what you're dealing with. These entities who are plotting and planning to have control over other nations that are awakening. They don't want the full-blown awakening because time is moving on. The birth rates here are off the chain, and the average population age is so young. They can't win. It's just like when you're at the red light and you have an 18-wheeler next to you and you're in a Toyota Camry. The light turns green and you zoom off because the big, slow truck, 18-wheeler, has to go through all of its gears and take its time. And you're many miles down the road now on the highway. It's late at night. And you see something glimmering far behind you, but it's gaining on you. What vehicle is that? It's that 18-wheeler that you thought you left behind. See? Now, it's picked up in its fastest gear. And when it passes you by, you might be doing 90 miles an hour. It passes you by and it makes you feel like you're standing still. And you have to hold on because when that truck goes by you, the wind alone makes you feel like your little car is rocking. That's America right now. Look how fast things are changing. And they won't report the advances of those here in the motherland in the Western press. They want to make you think, and the agents of division on social media who are commissioned to put down Africa, to put down countries outside of America to make it seem like everywhere is poor, everywhere is downtrodden, everywhere is backward. Well, do you know they're creating a Hope City here, right? Near Accra. And it's going to be able to, I think, 50,000 people. And all the tech jobs that are coming here. My concern is who's going to get these jobs. But the bottom line, America's not growing this fast with all the trillions of dollars in debt that they are. Trillions and trillions and trillions and growing higher. They're getting weighted down, but they want to be the big bad wolf and control everybody else. How does that work? And they want to be able to surveil those who are here for their diabolical reasons, because I heard July 4th is a day to watch out for. Maybe not, because you know you have a lot of people who say things out of emotions and come up with these conspiracy theories, but they say something might happen on July 4th. And you know what they tried to do with this mask that they wanted us to wear. And it wasn't Halloween. And for those who don't know, Halloween is an occultic, I'll say it that way, celebration in October every year in America. Why do they want to do this? Right? It's part of something bigger. And think. And you got Bill Gates messing with the people in Kenya, and the leaders over there are so glad to get down that possibly, past a certain point, newborn babies will be inserted with a digital chip, right? That they don't need a card or some different type of ID anymore. But why Africa? Why don't you do this to your people in Europe? Why don't you do that to those who oppress people in America first? So this is what I'm going to say also. For all of the things that we claim as black people in Africa, in America, all Louisiana, I picked on them for a reason. I'm not picking. But many are Christian and go to church, but you know you all are practicing something else. If what you do in those practices, if it is something natural and in the order of who we are, do it. The other foolishness you practice that doesn't work, leave it alone. But if what you feel that you do behind closed doors or openly with the juju, with even pure thoughts of spirituality on a good level, pool your spiritual resources, good and bad. It's not for me to say what's good and what's bad. Pull them together and throw out the energy that those who oppress you are wiped off the face of the earth, but not harming any one of us. And for those who may not look like us, who sincerely have love for us and hate the system of oppression, protect them also. Because not every one of them are bad. But if you are down with the system of oppression globally, then you need to be wiped off the face of the earth, even if you look like me. Because like Chuck D said in Welcome to the Terror Dome, every brother ain't a brother, and that includes sisters too. It's time to separate yourself. And in actuality, Babylon will fall, and when they fall, you don't need to be nowhere near it. If you can't see it now, then you'll never see it. If you think that you need to cling to your former slave master, who is your current slave master, who manipulates the system to keep you in bondage, even when you think you're free, you're not free. You're not free. We got to get these people out of this realm. But we keep when they come around. We want their baubles and trinkets and rubies. We want to live next to them. We want to be, and they don't want us. They want to use us. They want to get rid of us off the face of the earth. And you want to love that? If you're my enemy and you hate me, I'm not going to love you. I have unlimited love in my heart for creation, the righteous system, and those who have love in their heart for me. But if you don't, I'm not one of them turn the other cheek Negroes. I will bust you up just as fast and not care about it. Go home and get a good meal and a good night's sleep. To be real, and excuse my expression, all of us have got to get more balls to understand that we live on a big planet, that you don't need to be brainwashed to thinking that America is the only place in the world to live good. There's so many places out here, and most don't want to live there. Only if they've fallen victim to the illusion that's put over social media. There are many here in Ghana who can't wait to leave. They think it's heaven. I don't hate America. Again, I've said this several times this week. I don't hate them, but I don't love the system. I don't love the tension. I don't love the stress. I don't love the shackles that they continue to want to put over us as people who are supposed to have been born free. We are not free. And I am not free, even though I'm here. If there's a part of me, family, friends, loved ones who are over there, even when they don't know that they're incarcerated, even if it's invisible to them, then I'm not happy in my soul. Because when you think of the things that are going on in the world that we don't know about, And so many who have lost their intuition because they've lowered their spiritual vibration to indulge in the worldly things that keep them low. This is why you have YouTube shorts, short Instagram videos to keep you scrolling. Another one, another hit. No long video. They have them, but that's to keep you scrolling. You'll send it to. There are people who send stuff to people all day that are irrelevant to changing their lives. Yeah, you can have fun. You can look at an old show from back in the 70s or a joke or something catch your eye, but do you go to a 5-star restaurant just to eat dessert? What about the meal? We all think of this dessert thing. We want instant gratification. We don't put our heads. Look, they used to say that we only use 15% of our brain. If that's true, it's much less now, because most of us are walking around zombied out, scrolling in the crack pipe of a phone, totally oblivious to what's going on around us. And you got fake news out there that we have to verify. And if it's not something that is hedonistically driven, if it's not something that's carnal, if it's not something that's gossip, if it's not something that's sexual, right, then we don't want to be bothered with. Oh, that's corny. I don't need to pay that no mind. That's just too negative. Well, you're not being positive, dousing yourself with cheap filler for your brain to absorb. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with the men? What is wrong with the mothers? What is wrong with us? I'll tell you, we are disconnected from our Creator. We are disconnected from divine law. And we don't have the balls to stand up while a Bill Gates wants to put needles in the arms of our children, while America wants to control the world, so that no matter where you are, there are satellites that can see you. And if they know everything about you, which they already do, I mean, what's going to happen? Sure, there are people who, it's easy, and it was easy for many who are running from things to come to Ghana. I understand that. And if you're running from responsibility, if you hurt or unalive somebody, or you don't want to take care of your children and you're running, go on back. Go on back. Let them take you. Go on with them. Pay the price. I lived by the laws when I was in America. I've had to defend myself once or twice and bust somebody over the head who was coming for me. They put cuffs on me and let me go. I don't have a record like that. But I know the game, and I'm still here. And I did not come this far to be controlled. If I have to give up the internet, if I have to give up a smartphone, which I use as tools, I'm old school. I can write, I can draw. I'm detached more and more from this stuff, the illusion and all the noise. Don't think that America is your God. The world is big. Look at the globe and look how small America is. If you have family there, fine. I feel for you. Do what you have to do to be able to stay connected with them face to face when you want to visit. But this is fear-mongering. This is an attempt at total control, the totalitarian government and control, and the New World Order, the One World, all of that stuff. But they really can't do it as easy as they thought they would, because there are other nations who are not complying with America's foolishness. If I got to go out further into the country where there's no cell phone signals, nothing, let me have nature. The whole day today was quiet. I relaxed. It rained most of the day. And I was in bliss. I didn't even want to get on the phone, scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. I'm moving away from that. Get away from thinking that you need to be around these damn demons who are doomed, who we need to be praying for, praying P-R-A-Y and P-R-E-Y, pray. Let them be the victims. This is a fight. Are you going to sit down and let it overtake you? Or do you know that you're righteously ordained to defend yourself? You look at any animal, any insect. I see them all day. I learn from nature even without reading a book. And every animal, every insect, every God-created creature has a means of defending itself. And even if it looks like it doesn't, it has the speed to get away from danger. It has teeth that can bite you, venom that can kill you, strength that can choke you off. So you, as the highest being on the planet, supposedly with the biggest brain to think that you don't use, you don't have a way to defend yourself. You can be the smartest person in the world, but if you don't have any heart to fight, your God-given right for freedom, which we were born in captivity, in actuality, and we're made to think that we're free. Because we have the biggest house, we have the nicest cars, and all the amenities, and everything's modern, and no potholes, and no this. Yeah, there's poverty here. There's poverty everywhere. The one thing America hides is dirty secrets. They don't project an image to show you the truth about what's going on over there. And many are brainwashed, and this is why they want to go right and jump into the trap. Like the mouse sitting there looking at that fat piece of cheese. The mouse and the rat. Oh, look at that, man. It smells good too. And they go take a bite, and pop! They're caught in the trap. They're caught in the trap. So for Ghanaians and those in other countries here, if you do not have family over there, stay from over there. You want to go there and live? You're going to be disappointed. I know that. I did my 57 years in that prison called America. But don't let this scare you. Stay ahead of the game, be wise, and move accordingly. I want to hear your comments. Thank you very much. On to the next one. Let's keep the information flowing. Peace.